Hello, everyone. Welcome back to more chess. I'm playing as Black Day against Daniels 86. Still, oh man, I don't know what to do with D-pawn openings. I don't remember. Here? Probably not. That's horrible, yeah. Let's just meet it here. There you go. Playing chess. Right, Black. 10-5, as always. I forget how much of that I said. I remember I did say my opponent's name. Daniels 86. Birth year? Maybe. I expect this to be a short-ish episode. I have to leave in like half an hour, so I will not. I will certainly not have time to. I mean, I could develop the bishop here. That seems fine, but like, why don't I just? Hmm. I kind of like this, so that my bishop can support this. Just fight for more in the center. Um. Right. I have to leave in like half an hour, so I can certainly play a game and do at least some analysis of it, but I might have to cut it short, and I will not be playing a second game. Okay. They're targeting this square. We've seen that before. I guess I'm supposed to like be able to play this against such plays. I don't know. But I think they want to commit their knight, spend a turn developing their knight to attack this square when I'm perfectly capable of defending it, and then have to retreat their knight back when I do this. What they get in return is that I spent a kind of mediocre turn developing my knight to a worse square than usual, but I don't know. I think that move is worth it. I realized, by the way, that Lichess does have a way to view what opening you're in. I just like didn't know where that feature was. In the analysis board, you can click a toggle to like show opening, and it tells you not only like chess.com does what opening you're in, but also the most common follow-ups, um, how winning each such follow-up is for white and for black, and it'll show you example games from that. I wonder if I should have done this first. No. They just kick me with the pawn and it's fine. So we could pin the knight now if we wanted, but I think they would be perfectly happy to just kick me away. So I could go here, developing with tempo against the bishop, by the way. It seems kind of nice. If they capture, I can get my queen out, and it's like, okay, I'm not in love with developing the queen right now, but if the dark square bishops leave the table, this is a good spot for a queen, and it helps me get castled. So let's just do that. Hmm, that's interesting. Do they want to capture like this? Seems like a mild vulnerability to have their king so exposed. What can I do about that? Also, a move I'm considering is this, attacking the queen so that they can't afford to kick me just yet. Ah, but they could respond like so. I guess my knight wouldn't be hanging. Well, if they did that, I'd just take the queen, actually. So it gets my knight to a better square, but it's one that he will eventually get kicked from and have to go back here, so it doesn't seem that great. Let's just make this trade, make them lose some, like, they create a weak pawn and weaken this file, which I can attack sort of soonish. I wonder if I should have tried to get this in first. Because then my knight here can't be so easily kicked. He has a place to recover to. And this was supported only by that bishop. So, well, okay. Anyway, I think we can just get castled. And I think this will one day be a good flight square for the king, just because we've traded off the dark square bishops. What is that all about? I can play here to threaten white's center. I get to take this pawn off the board one way or another, which seems nice, I think. Right? Because that gives my knight the ability to do something good. If I get retake, it's with tempo against the queen, which is nice. There are discoveries with the queen, I guess, discovering this attack, but I don't even mind it. I can recapture. And there's nothing the queen can actually do at the moment that's that exciting. I don't think. It's nice to play against an opponent who's using a similar amount of time as I am. Just because, I don't know. Certainly it happens sometimes, but also sometimes you see people who are like blitzing stuff out in the opening, and it leaves me at a bit of a time disadvantage, and I don't think really costs them that much because I assume they have more opening prep than I do, since I'm not really into opening prep. I think I'm just like not a strong enough player to actually benefit much from it, as I discussed. I mean, right? The argument that I made before was yes, it would improve my current win rate to look at openings a bit. But I don't think that necessarily means that's what I should do. What about I think I want to take here, right? Presumably knight takes. What is that doing? Maybe I don't want to give their knight this square. It is a pretty good square for a knight. But what should I do instead? I'd love to land a pawn here somehow, obviously. But quite a gauntlet to run to get there. I could take care of this guy, I guess, easily enough. But I can't really deal with this one, I don't think. I mean, here. So maybe I should develop with an attack here. Is that dropping anything, by the way? I should check. Also, this is a threat? I see. Right here is what they might want. I can get the queen off of that diagonal if I want. I can do this to stop the knight getting in, and then it's fine. But now that's not. I wanted this flight square, right? This creates later possibilities with like queen getting here, being supported by the bishop. So I'd prefer to avoid that. And now I can do this and then get out of here that way. So my knight is... This knight move is not as bad as it was before. And also it is threatening this in case the queen tries to run here. Not that she should. Now this the pawn here is unsupported. So I do kind of have to make this trade. And let the knight over here, but... I don't know, maybe I could have just brought the knight over without first... Oh, no, I don't know. I stuff like this. Forking... There's not a knight here, I'm just dumb. I was thinking there was a knight here and I could fork it with the pawn here. But that is not the case. So what about queen here? Attacks the pawn. I think they would be happy to just push it and trade it for my lovely pawn here. So maybe I should try to stop that. Well, I could counter like so, right? But then developing my queen will have been kind of silly. Here. I would want another attacker on the knight before I do that. So maybe just challenge their knight. It's a pretty good knight. Why don't we try to make him get out of here? I'm now like actually behind substantially on time. I spent a lot of time thinking about like this idea, I think, and what I was supposed to do about it. Okay, so my idea was to target this pawn somehow, right? I don't remember what the details were. There was some reason I was scared about this knight. Here? No, that's bad because they just take this. I was thinking of this, wasn't I? Here, here, here. I don't know. Let's just get in there, I guess. I don't know. This has got to be wrong, but I was like running out of ideas. Oh, I'm pinning this knight this way. That's right. When I recapture, the knight is now attacked twice. And I don't know. It's not really as good as it looks, I don't think. It doesn't even look that good. This was clearly a bad move. I've ruined my pawn structure and just picked up some pieces for it. Or not some pieces, some trades. And they're not particularly trades I was amazingly keen on making, I don't think. Oh, that? Really? Well, yeah, I can take here. Takes. Takes. I don't like that so much, really. I guess there's this. Doesn't really work. Oh, does this just drop my rook? It totally does. I saw this like idea of putting more pressure on the knight, but I forgot about the discovery they would have if they moved the knight. Oh, I had an in-betweener, actually. Once I noticed I had lost the knight, I think. Instead of captures, I should go here with check. Trade off where I'm not having any issues. It rescues the queen from the attack. They kind of have to take here. Then I take, and it's like even. This rook isn't getting to take a rook for free. So I noticed it and just instantly reacted with captures, but ooh, that hurts. This is even worse. I can pick up a bishop, but I lose a rook. Or I can do nothing and just lose the bishop. Well, this is just, let's get out of here. So let me just first confirm that I was right. I actually wasn't in trouble here, although I thought I was. If I just trade queens, yeah, I'm okay. I'm still losing, apparently. Huh? Interesting. I thought things were going fine up until that problem. It looks like my opponent must have had a new account, by the way. Or new to rated? Because they shouldn't have picked up that much more than me for the win. Just out of curiosity. Yeah, only 16 games. Okay. So they've played a lot of Blitz and are just now getting into Rapid. Okay. So here I had an advantage and I gave it away like this, huh? How did I pick up this advantage? It doesn't say any particular moves my opponent made were themselves big problems. Oh, there it is, yeah. It's not... Is that really supposed to be blue? It is, but oh my god, I could use, like, better accessibility fonts. Like, ugh. I literally can't tell that's blue unless I put my eyes up against the screen. As I mentioned, I have a visual impairment, so it's not like I think it's that bad for everybody, but I don't know. If I guess it's fine. Like they put the question mark exclamation point there. So that's the affordance for. They're not just indicating it with color, but I was looking and I didn't see any colors. So okay, there's this one though. So this was their mistake, apparently. Yeah, I mean developing the queen for no obvious reason. Sure, I agree. I'm surprised that advancing the rook there wasn't the problem. It does say I'm supposed to play bishop here. I don't really understand why. I guess it goes here, 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 and that is how you defend this? But aren't you just, like, giving them permission to develop this? I don't understand. Oh, no, it doesn't say you should do that. It says that would be second best. Hang on, let's stop learning from mistakes right now. I'm, like, just looking at ideas. Right. So it says if you do this, it's good. This is the second best move, but bad. Okay, that's fine. And then kicking the knight away is best. Oh, oops, now I've seen the answer to what I was supposed to do instead of blundering. Why is this good? Oh, it attacks this pawn, I guess? Yeah, that's what I get. So why is this good? It attacks the pawn, but who cares? It supports a bishop advance, maybe? Or a knight advance? To kick away the queen? Probably that's it, right? What is it that happens if I go here? Okay, we'll let Stockfish think for a minute. But it seems to think just push the pawn. Interesting. So they just drop this. Suppose that they say, nothing really going on, let's just develop. Or no, not develop. Let's defend this pawn. There's only a couple moves that do it. This is probably a bad one. Why not castles? Then we get in here, I guess. But there's a knight. I guess we can chase him away. And suppose they defend like so. Here? Why? The knight is less defended, obviously. Ah, I see. You pin it. It only has one defender, and they can't add a second. Right? Well, but they can just move it? But you made them play this really crummy... Oh, they could add a second. Why not here? This square was an important square that they couldn't afford to give up for their queen, because this pawn still needs babysitting for a knight fork. And if we say that the queen is tied down to defending this knight, for stuff like this, well, it's not that important that the queen is tied down, because once we play knight here, we're actually blocking this, and the queen's no longer needed here. But she just has to move, and there's nowhere else to go that defends this if if bishop tries to defend the knight. So they can't actually add a second defender to the knight, because if they try, we pick up the rook. Therefore, the knight is actually pinned and can actually be piled up on. Well, what if this? Pile up on him from over here. I see. I didn't notice that. So we end up winning the knight if they try to defend this pawn. Huh. Well, that's definitely tactics I'm not surprised to have missed. But, like, I guess that's interesting because the second best move is one that gives away most of my advantage. So the entire reason that I'm ahead at the moment is a tactic against these two pieces that's several moves deep, which is clearly beyond my limited powers of analysis at the moment. I can see it in retrospect with the computer pointing it out to me eventually, but I wasn't going to pick it up at the time. But, you know, this is an undefended piece. Well, so, like, why not just go there? Make them... I thought, like, you know, this is not so bad for them. But it gives up the only defender of the knight. So there are signs that I should look at to make me evaluate this as a possibility. But there's no way I would have, like, figured it out during the game, even if I'd tried queen here. Okay, next up. It didn't like this, and neither did I. But I just sort of, like, was running out of time, and I thought I should do something. And I thought I had some idea about exposing an attack on the queen, x-raying the knight if I did this. But it doesn't actually work. What was I supposed to do instead? I mean, I can take here, brings the queen forward. Doesn't seem particularly important. I can get my flight square in, but that makes the knight undefended, which seems likely to lead to some kind of problem. I don't know, he can just go here. Probably. Not that he's happy about it. Or even here. Yeah, let's just do this. It says that's still bad. One move I was considering at some point was this, which is obviously bad. The bishop just takes it. I hope I wasn't considering it in this position, but in some position where the bishop wasn't here yet, when it was still back there. Maybe it's the same idea, just develop this threat. Seems okay. Says it's still bad. Not as bad. I could develop this pawn. Nope, that drops the knight. I just get the bishop here. It feels like such a weak way to develop the bishop, just staring at this pawn. But it like helps connect the rooks, which was a problem I ended up having later in the game. This is something that I feel like I need to work on, is where in the early game do you want your bishops? I mean, right now it's more like the mid game, honestly, I think, right? Yeah. According to this analysis anyway. But I think it is the mid game. There have been some pawn exchanges. Anyway, because I always feel like it's just horrible to have bishops develop to just, like, not horrible, but I don't like developing bishops to squares like this because they're not like the main diagonals, and they're not very far forward. Like, in theory, you'd prefer the center, I thought. But apparently it's fine. I guess another thing is, suppose I make some other move, like, I don't know, queen here. How good is this? It's bad. Okay. I was thinking maybe that this is a pawn move I wouldn't want to make because it leaves this isolated. But maybe it's still good because, like, it reinforces my center a lot. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, like when it's okay to do this with a bishop versus like waiting for a chance to get it outside the pawn chain is something I don't really understand at all. It feels to me like this is the bishop that I want to get outside the pawn chain somehow, and so I was avoiding developing it until I could do that. But like realistically, that's never going to happen. What about this? It hates that move, huh? Oops. Here, here, here. Okay, I see. Castles and just get ready for this whole tactic, maybe? Yeah, it's like you got to get off that back rank, man. And in the meantime, you're leaving these pieces like undefended, right? Okay. And also, I guess like even just more abstractly, you had this great center pawn, and now you don't, right? This pawn goes from an asset to a liability. Okay. Yeah, and this was bad because of this discovery. I could have saved it this way, for example. Um, Having not done so, they weren't actually. Well, no, they were. Oh yeah, okay. This is bad for me, but huh. So we're still even on material, but my pawn structure is busted, and their rooks are way more active. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, and then there was this last blunder, which I noticed just the moment after I made it. Yeah, you can see like I was doing pretty well. Well, I don't know. This was an issue, but then I just like dropped piece, not piece, but pawn after pawn, and then here it was just like a disaster. Okay. What do we have time for here? I have 4 minutes. I could probably do one puzzle storm in 4 minutes. Who am I? I guess I must be white. This seems good. Um, Pick up the rook. Is that, or I guess it's the queen. Okay. Checkmate or not checkmate? It's the bishop. Oh, I'm in check. Should I take with check and then get a queen? Okay. This bishop is pinned. Ah, but more importantly, nope. Thought I could just go there and pick up the bishop. Must have had something better. Check. Checkmate. Well, this looks good, but what about king here? The rook is defending the back rank, right? Ah, pick up the bishop. Nope. This is a tough puzzle rush. Or anyway, I'm doing badly. My queen is under attack. So picking up the bishop, probably not right. Can I move her forcefully somewhere and then pick up the bishop? I guess just attack the knight? Nope. Oh my god. I'm going to be able to survive more than one puzzle rush at this rate. All right, this one at least, hang on. Now here, right? Because if I take here, I'm losing the game, so that would be bad. But here, just also invites checkmate. No, it's not checkmate. Oh my god. No, I think it was horrible though what I just did. Um, Grab the bishop. Check here. Yeah. Get the fork. Oh, I paused for a moment to reflect whether there was something better I could do than actually take the queen, whether I could like move my queen to attack the king somehow. Ugh. This was abysmal. Alright, let's see if I have a minute to review these. So here I was thinking, yeah, you can... Oh, why not just take both pieces? Okay. Here? Right. Yeah, so this whole thing is still working. This is exactly the same thing that came up in a later puzzle, and I just, like, didn't see it. Here... I'm like... Is it just that I'm supposed to take the knight here? Seems like a weird puzzle, but okay. And this was the last one I actually got wrong. So I found this. And then... I don't know. We have here, but this... We have this, but isn't this like... They can just take here. Why? Oh, this isn't checkmate. My bishop's guarding the rook, so I can go here, and if takes here, and I'm okay. That's a tough puzzle, because the reason it's playable is because of this, like, defensive resource. I don't know. It's not as obvious as, like, oh, there's a rook hanging. It seemed tricky to be like, can you take the rook? Alright, I gotta go. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.